Stadium. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And some room to run now. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you could hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
The Vikings at 9-5 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Got his man, it's Williams.
And he will have the Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
On play action, Cousins. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
Play action now, Cousins. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Play fake. Cousins.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And they'll get him down here at the 23. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Walker.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
41 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
10 more there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick.
And the Vikings are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe some.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on this. Because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Tackle there by Lewis Seed.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A gain of 9 yards.
We're scoreless after one. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On the counter, it's Walker. Just a yard of the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Straight ahead, Walker. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 17. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They go play action with Wilson. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And now lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A safety with a sack there, LaMarcus Joyner.
A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And as we check the next-gen stats, that play lasted just 2.7 seconds from beginning to end. Just not enough time to throw the football.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal.
The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip.
So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let...
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Vikings! I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. In one play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. It's almost human nature, isn't it? They score on one play, you come out on offense, you try and do exactly the same thing. They tried the deep ball, couldn't quite connect, but give them an A for effort.
To throw again on second down, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5, about the 4. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done. They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
They try again with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Dalvin Cook, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half.
That's caught inside the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
It's a gain of 65 yards. First down, Broncos.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Play action. It's Wilson. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. A great effort there. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. McManus's point after is good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins.
Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out, continue to throw the ball effectively.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Inside give to Davis. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They go play action now. Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 42. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 38, Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Touchdown! Jerry Judy with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 17-14. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him a... as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked up by Fabian Moreau.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
So now it's 2 straight drives that end with an interception.
And the first time, the first interception, they ended up getting 6 points out of it and taking the lead. Now they have an opportunity to increase that lead after their 2nd pick on 2 drives.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, yes, you hear his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion. They'll run with Cook. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Dalvin Cook taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings have retaken a third-quarter lead. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Patterson back out there to send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know, this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A give for Walker running right.
Oh, look at the juke. They find some open field here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
109 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to Walker on 1st down.
And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
Walker with another carry.
He will push his way down to about the 14. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense on third down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Touchdown, Broncos! Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Broncos answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead.
McManus's point after is good, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And next time, Brandon, I think you might want to consider running it because those defensive backs, they were plastered to the receivers, and they weren't letting up as that play went on.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. He'll look to throw.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Guaranteed they've been talking a lot about, can we find something that'll go our way? And that tip ball, that definitely just did.
Well, and with this margin manageable, yeah, that gives them a little juice maybe on the tip.
Yeah, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. That could help them get right back in it.
And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get them behind the line twice in a row. Now back to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
To about the 26 here.
On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Completes it to the fullback Ham. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That one a first down pickup of 8. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Left side, Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line.
He'll look to throw. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Third down, Dalvin Cook. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken a lead late in the final minute of the fourth. Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
Partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that will make this a 4-point game.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wilson.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
So line of scrimmage still with 39 on 2nd and 10.
Now Wilson. He's going to let it fly.
Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And some room to work. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds.